Okay. Good evening. Good evening, guys.
Good evening.
All right. Good evening. Good evening. So sorry about that. I had some network issues. I don't know how, but can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. If you can hear me, for those that are online, please could you say 1, 2, 3? Could you say 1, 2, 3? Clement, you're welcome. I've been seeing your comments. I've been seeing your comments. If you're on LinkedIn and you can hear me, Chinyere, I can see others. And if you posted before, okay, okay. If you can hear me, just say 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to get started right away. Awesome, awesome. If you're on YouTube and you can hear me, you can please do the same. Okay, okay. It seems like only those on LinkedIn can hear me. All right. You're welcome, Emeka. You're welcome, Olani. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And without wasting time, I want us tonight's um, session. Sorry, can our speakers please mute their mics? I'm kind of echoing. Okay. Omotayo, please, could you mute your mic just for the meantime? Okay. Speakers, Omotayo and Chikeze, please, could you please mute your mic? Okay. Oh, hi, Frank. Hi, Frank. Hi, Anjorin, Olani. All right. Oh, there were some network issues actually. Okay. So we're going to go right into tonight's session. And I want to be sure that you all can hear me before I get started. Okay. I think we're back again. Okay, so we're back again. I want to apologize for the network issues. If you can hear me again, can you just send the 1, 2, 3 once again? Due to the network issues on my end, I'm going to be introducing the first speaker speaker. Okay, so you're welcome to the Ghostwriting Profit Secret Masterclass, and tonight we're going to be discussing about the skills and the laws of ghostwriting. If you can hear me now, could you please let me know? Okay, I want the network to play a fast one on me. So I'm going to be inviting the first speaker, and like I introduced myself on the group earlier. My name is Goodman, creative content strategist, and I'll be your host for tonight. And we're going to be talking about the skills and the laws of ghostwriting. I have two speakers here with me, two speakers with experience and results that you can learn from. And I really do hope that you guys will be able to, you know, get as get as much as you can. Okay, so I'm going to be inviting the first speaker. Chikeze, please, you have to go first. Since your part really talks about the skills of ghostwriting, I want to sort out the network issues from my end. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for your patience. I look forward to an amazing time with you guys while I sort out these issues from my end. So I'm handing over to our first speaker, and let me do a little bit of introduction. Our first speaker is Keze Owo, a successful ghostwriter and information marketer who has made over $8,000 from ghostwriting after struggling in importation for some months. So we're going to have him speaking to us tonight. All right, so please sit back, relax, and get ready to write and get as much value as you can get from tonight's session. And I will be with you guys shortly. So Chikizi, you have the floor, please, while I go sort out. All right, Chikizi, please go ahead. Can you hear me? You have to unmute your mic. I don't know if your mic is muted. All right. I don't know what's wrong on our speaker's end. Well, Omotai, are you ready for us? We might have to start with you.
Hi, good evening. Good news. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. So I was hoping that Chikezie can actually go first, considering the fact that he is supposed to lay foundation to the main reason why we are here today. But then I guess I just have to go first since he's not available. So maybe when he's back, he can actually start while I pause for a moment for him to do his presentation first. But then just to save our time, I would start my own presentation. Okay, so thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Inokoju Omotayo. I guess she didn't introduce me because she had thought that it's Chikeze that would go first. So my name is Inokoju Omotayo. I'm an intellectual property lawyer, and I currently work with Silverbird Group as their legal executive officer. So I want to say thank you very much for joining, and thank you very much, Good News, for this opportunity. So without further ado, I want to briefly say that ghostwriting is a form of writing in general. So as a writer, there are some rights that you have under the intellectual property law. And because of the fact that what you write stems from your idea, you think about it, you come up with the idea, and you put it in writing. So the law believes that if you have used your idea, you have used your intellectual property to come up with what you have written, then you should have some exclusive rights that only you would be able to exploit without any other third party exploiting same without your permission. So if you are a writer, under the law, you are entitled to what is called copyright. So when you say copyright, it means that, like I explained before, you have the exclusive right to the work that you have created. So number one, when you have a copyright, it means that only you can reproduce the work. It means that only you form the work publicly. It means that only you have the right to translate the work into any other language for you to be able to exploit the work in those other languages. Then thirdly, only you have the right to transform the work. So majorly, most of us that are here in this class, what we do is what we call literary work. It means they are majorly written down. But then you will know that from a literary work, you can actually get a video, you can get an audio, which means your literary work can as well be translated to other forms. So before anybody can transform your work into another form, the person needs your permission, and only you have the right to transform the work maybe into a film, maybe into an audio work or a podcast. Only you have that right. So under the law, there are two major rights. Number one is the copyright, which I've explained. Then number two is what we call moral rights. So moral rights is just saying that you have the right to get credit for the work that you have done. So for example, if I write a book, being the author, I should get the credit for writing the book. In front of the book, you should write written by Inokoju Omotayo Queen, because that is my intellectual. I've taken my time, I've taken my resources, I've taken my intelligence to sit down and write the work. If that is the case, I should actually get credit for writing the work. So as a ghostwriter or as a writer, like I said, so I'm trying to explain the rights of a writer now in general before I go to specifics, which is a ghostwriter. So as a writer, you have both your copyright and your moral rights. So your copyright deals more with exploitation of the rights, which have listed the rights that you have under copyright, which includes, once again, your right to reproduce the work, your right to sell the work, your right to publish the work, your right to translate the work, your right to create derivative works from the work. For example, there are a lot of books, or there are a lot of films that were books before, but now they are now made into a film. So you cannot go ahead to make those books into a film without actually taking the permission of the person that wrote the book. If not, you are playing or you are toying with a copyright infringement suit. So for you to actually be able to build a business, a sustainable and a profitable business out of your writing skills, there are some structures that you need to put in place as a writer. Number one, you need to register your business as a writer. I remember sometimes last year when a scriptwriter reached out to me that he wanted me to render my legal services to him or retain my legal services. So I asked him during the client interview process, I said, is your business registered? And he laughed and was like, do script writers register business? I was like, really? How do you mean? So most often I notice that a lot of writers don't take their writing business serious because they feel, oh, it's a talent that God gave me, or is it not just writing? Why should I register it? The thing about a business, it is the way that you present your business that people wait with you. It is the energy that you give that people would send back to you. If you present your business in a shabby manner, you would also get a shabby response. So today I wrote something on my Instagram. It's about how to structure your creative talent business into a profitable business that you can earn from. And like I said, one of the things I wrote there is, number one, whether it's script writing you are doing, whether it's ghostwriting you are doing, it is a form of business. And you need to put some structures in place for people to actually take your business serious. And I said, number one, the first thing you need to do is to choose a brand name for your writing business. For example, my name is Inokojo Omotayo. I can write, my brand name can be Omotayo Writes. And that is the name that I will use on my letterhead. That's the name I will use on my emails. That's the name I will use on my Instagram handle. And that is what is called branding. When you brand your business properly, people start to identify you with that name. You start to build a goodwill around that name, such that whenever they hear Omotayo Writes, they don't think of any other person. They think about me. And when you choose a brand name, the next thing for you to do is to register the name with CAC. That means it is no longer something personal. It is now a standard business. You get to have your business account. You get to do business with the name without necessarily using your personal name. And when people see that your business is structured enough, they want to invest in the business. They want to do business with you because they know that you are professional. You are serious about what you are doing. Then thirdly, when people notice that you have built goodwill around that name, around that business, they may tend to copy you. They may tend to start using your name privately without your knowledge or without your permission. And that is why it is very, very important for you to register what we call a trademark. And what a trademark does for you is that it gives you the exclusive right to use your brand name, your logo, your slogan, or any other brand identifiers that you have. So once you are able to trademark your brand name and all other things that is used to identify your brand, then it becomes something that is no longer play. it is now a standard business and the good thing about trademark is it's not just for identification. You can even exploit it. You can make more money from it. And that is what brands like McDonald's, brands like all those food chains, all those food brands, they use it a lot. They are able to license their name to other people to do business, and they get what you call a franchise fee or a license fee. So when you're able to build a goodwill around your name, you can actually license to other people to use. So I'm just trying to tell you why you should structure your business even as a writer. So also as a writer, there are some rights that only you actually can exploit, like I said before. When you create a work, do you know that you have 70 years to actually exploit the work? And during that years, no other third party can do all those things I listed before as your copyright without your permission. And if anybody dares to do that, your permission, you can sue the person. Then also, when you have a creative work in form of a literary work, it could be a book, it could be social media content, it could be blogs, it could be mails, anything that you have created that is in a written form, that is your literary work. And you can, like I explained before, you can assign it to a third party or you can license it to a third party. So when you license something, it means that you have rented it out. And you know what happens when you rent something else? It means you still have ownership over it, but the person can use it for an agreed period of time. So if you write a book and someone says, oh, this is your book, you've written it in English, but do you know that I can help you translate this book into French and I can it in France? You know, as a writer, that might not come to your mind, or you might not even have the capacity to exploit your book in France. But then you can collaborate with a French person to translate the work and sell in French. So what you have done there is you have licensed the work to the person for that period of time. You can say, dude, you can only sell this book in France between 2023 to 2026. And after that 2026, all the rights that you have, it passes back to you. If the person continues to sell after 2026, that is an infringement on your rights. You can sue the person because the person is exploiting your rights outside the agreed duration of time. That's for licensing. Then assignment is the total sale. That means you are selling your right outrightly to the person. In that case, the person becomes the new owner of the literary work that you have created. So you can either assign your work to a third party or you can license it to a third party, depending on the one that you feel would work best for you. But for me, I always tell my clients that they should go for licensing. That way you know that your work is still coming back to you. So now, let's now go to ghostwriting in proper. So I remembered how I met Ghost. She actually wrote something about ghostwriting, and I mentioned that, oh, for a ghostwriter, a contract is very, very, very important. And I guess that was the comments that she saw and made her reach out to me that she was holding this session and she would want me to join in. So for a ghostwriter, your job is actually different. Okay, it's not different. Your job is not different, but what is actually different from a normal writer is, like I explained before, for a normal writer, you own copyright and you own moral rights. But when it now comes to a ghost writer, it is called ghost writing because you are a ghost. I'm a human, I cannot see a ghost. Meaning, The person that have briefed you to write the work is the human that other humans will be seeing. You are just the ghost behind the human that has commissioned you to write the work. It means that, number one, you would not have the moral rights, which is the credit. And that is why for a ghostwriter, you should even charge higher than a normal writer, because you have passed one of your very, very germane to the person that have commissioned you to do the work. For example, Good News posted something this morning about Michelle Obama's book that was likely written by a ghostwriter. But then the name on the book is clearly written Michelle Obama, not ghostwriter. So that is what ghostwriting services does. It hides the identity of the real person that wrote the work and passes the copyright in the work to the third party that have commissioned the ghostwriter to write the work. So basically, what's selling under ghostwriting services is your moral rights. You've sold your moral rights, and moral rights gives you three rights basically. Number one, the right to get credit for the work. Number two, the right to stop any third party from using your work in a way that is not good for your brand, in a demeaning manner, or in a way that would deform the work or affect the purpose for which you have written the work. So you have a right to stop any third party from using your work in an illegal or in any manner that you do not like. So, but if you have written a work as a ghostwriter, it means you have sold your moral rights plus your copyright to the third party that have commissioned you to write the work. That means the person that wrote Michelle Obama's book has sold both his or her moral rights and his or her copyright to Michelle Obama. In such case, Michelle Obama now owns all the copyright. That means the right to reproduce the work, the right to translate the work, the right to get derivative works from it. Please, just a moment. I can hear some noise from my background. Please, just a moment. I'm sorry, please. I'm sorry. So, like I was saying, it means that the ghostwriter that wrote Michelle Obama's book, has passed both the copyright in the book and the moral rights in the book. And that is why you see that all the royalties made from that book would actually go to Michelle Obama. If they want to make a movie from the book, it would go to the royalties that maybe a Netflix or an Amazon would pay would go to Michelle Obama and not the ghostwriter. Then secondly, of course, Obama got the credit for the book because it was written by a ghostwriter. So the difference between a normal writer, let me go over it again, and a ghostwriter is the fact that you are not getting either your copyright or your moral right as the writer of the literal work. Unlike when you write as a normal writer, where you get both the copyright, it means you are getting royalty, it means that only you can reproduce the work, it means that only you can translate the work, it means that only you would have the exclusive right to deal with the book or to export the book as you so wish. So now, having said that, as a ghostwriter, one of your major tools is actually your contract. So now, as a ghostwriter, the only thing that you are entitled to is payment. And when it comes to payment, the best way for you to clarify the issues of payment is actually through a ghostwriter's contract. And a ghostwriter contract should at least cover the following. Number one, you want to introduce the parties. Okay, my name is Omotayo. Michelle Obama has requested that I write a book for her. Okay, my name is Omotayo. I'm a writer, or I'm a ghostwriter. I stay at number 22 Awolowo Way. Okay, Michelle Obama has commissioned me to write her book. Michelle Obama is the vice president of Nigeria. She stays at number 24, Victoria Island, Lagos. Describe the parties so that it is clear. I know who is giving me work, and you know who you are briefing to work for you. Then number two, you want to be clear as per the exact roles that you are playing as a ghostwriter. What are you writing? Is it a mail? Is it a full book? How many pages are you looking at? How many chapters are you looking at? So you need to be clear on the exact roles that you are playing. Okay, if you have to review the book, how many review are you going to do? If you do more than that number of reviews, would you get paid more for the further review? Then aside that, you also want to break down the amount that you will be paid. And like I mentioned before, because you are a ghostwriter, you will not get your copyright, you will not get your moral rights. It means that you have to charge more than usual. Because if you look at it, you might think that, oh, the book is small. What if tomorrow a Netflix now come that, oh, I like this book so much, I want to make a film out of it. Do you know how much Netflix pays for making a book into a film? It means you have lost the deal because you sold both your copyright and your moral rights. So all these things and many more, which of course I'm sure Chikezie would mention, are the things that you should consider while pricing your services as a ghostwriter. Then when it now comes to payment, are you going to be paid one-off, or you are going to be paid in installments? If you are going to be paid in installments, how many installments would it be? Is it that, okay, if you are supposed to deliver 8 chapters, when you start, you get an installment. After delivering the 4th chapter, you get another installment. You need to be clear on how the fees would be paid. Then if you will be paid in full at once, at what point would you be paid? Is it before you start the work, or at the middle of the work, or when you conclude the work? Then another thing that is very critical is the issue of non-disclosure. So for a ghostwriter, a non-disclosure is very, very important. Of course, anyways, non-disclosure actually it protects the party that has commissioned you to do the work, because under the non-disclosure agreement, you are saying that you will not disclose to anybody the fact that you are the brain behind the work. That is, you are the one that wrote the book. So the ghostwriter that wrote Michelle Obama's book cannot come out tomorrow and say, oh, don't you know I'm the one that wrote the book that Michelle Obama is selling all about? No, because he or she has already signed a non-disclosure agreement. In that way, the person cannot disclose to anybody under any condition that he or she actually wrote the book. So now you can say that, why do you need a contract? Number one, it is obvious for ease of reference. For any reason, the person might want to deny that, oh, I'm not owing you anything. You just pull out your contract. Oga, on the so day, so time, you signed this contract, and it is obvious on it that you've only paid me this. You are still owing me an outstanding sum of so. For ease of reference, once you have a contract, no problem. Like, you have evidence for ease of reference, you need contracts in your life. Then secondly, it proves that, of course, there's a service agreement between the two of you. You have commissioned me to write this work, and this contract is the proof that indeed you commissioned me. And of course, these roles and so roles and so are the roles that I've played so far based on the relationship that we created through the agreements that we signed. Then number three, it guides you against scope creeping. We cannot agree in the contract that I'm only writing 12 chapters for you, and you wake up one morning and you come and tell me, no, 12 chapters will not be enough, make it 20. You'll be like, no, that's not part of the contract I signed with you. In the contract, it is clearly written there that I'm supposed to present or to submit 12 chapters of book to you. So if you want something more than that, that means you are paying me an additional fee. And when I do an work for you, I attract an additional fee, and that means even the additional fee, don't agree on it orally. Do what you call an addendum, like an addition to the contract that you have done before. It might just be a one-page contract stating that, oh, this is an addition with the existing contract that was signed on the 31st day of June 2023. It is now agreed that instead of the 12-page book that I've agreed to write with you, now you have requested that I make it 20 pages. And based on the new agreement, you are going to pay me ₦1 million in addition to the 5 million that we initially agreed to. Don't do any oral arrangement. Put it in writing. It could be, I just said it orally now, and it's that simple. And make both parties sign it. And that's it. Then lastly, contracts prevent disputes, in the sense that in the contract it should also be provided that in case of disputes, when there are issues, when there are disputes between the parties, it could be disputes as per maybe the timeline that you're supposed to submit the work, then the contract will provide that in case of disputes like that, so and so are the steps that you would take to resolve whatever disputes that have come up between the two of you. So it could be that, okay, it will sit together and talk about it and resolve the issue. If the two of you cannot resolve it, you can invite a third party that we call a mediator in law that would come and say, oh, you are wrong, you are right, and the two of you would agree to it. If that doesn't work, we can do an arbitration where you bring your own lawyer, me, I bring my own lawyer, we arbitrate on the matter and we reach a conclusion. Then if that too doesn't work, that is the only way that we can now drag ourselves to court. So when you have all these provided in the contract, it makes dispute resolution seamless. Nobody will hear your noise. Nobody will hear you on social media, because it is already provided in the contract the exact steps that you need to take to resolve any dispute that comes up between the two of you. So as a ghostwriter, number one is make sure your business is structured. Sure that a lot of you, aside ghostwriting, you would also be doing normal writing. So if you are doing normal writing, it means that you really need to understand intellectual property. You need to understand what your rights are. You need to understand how you can exploit your intellectual property, your literary work. You need to understand how you can make money from it. You need to understand how to relate with your clients, how to define your rights, your obligations. You need to understand that. Then when it now relates to ghostwriting, you need to know that, okay, I need to, even if it's ghostwriting, even if it's writing, number one, I still need to put a structure to my business. And like I said before, it is the way you present your business that people would relate with it. When you send account number, you are still sending your own personal. When you can open a business account, and even when you open a business account, it would attract investors. It would attract a lot of partners, because they will know that, okay, this is not the usual one-man business. It's a standard business that, of course, Third parties can also invest in it. Then number two, understand your rights. Number three, especially when it comes to contracts, as a ghostwriter, don't joke with your contracts. Ensure that all the terms are clear. And if it is your client that comes up with the contract, hey, make sure you show it to your lawyer. Because most often, if you brief me to write a contract for you or to draft a contract for you, I will draft the contract to protect you, that you are my client, that you have paid me to draft the contract. I will not consider the other party, because it's not the other party that briefed me. And that is the exact same thing that would happen if your client is the one that gave you contract to sign. It means that he will put all the clauses, all the phrases that would protect him at your own detriment. And that is why you need your own lawyer to review that contract to ensure that your interests are duly protected. So don't just sign anything you see. And for people that uses all this Upwork, freelancer, all these guys to look at their contracts, the contract should be flexible. If you read through it and you notice that it doesn't protect you, it doesn't favor you, you can edit it, or you can send your own template to the person that has briefed you on all those platforms. Nothing is cast on stone. And the more you insist on doing things rightly, the more that they know that you know what you are doing and that you are running a structured business. So thank you so much for the opportunity. That will be all from my end. Thank you. So if you have any question, of course, I'm still here. So, and I can attend to it. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was amazing. That was amazing insights, and we were able to deliver all of that. So thank you so much, Omotayo. Because of the network, I couldn't introduce her properly. So I'm going to do just a little bit of introduction to Omotayo. Her name is Omotayo Queen, and she's a film lawyer and a legal executive. So you can see her face now. She's a film lawyer and a legal executive at Silverbird. She has worked with several movie creatives, including Deyemi the actor. If you watch Nigerian movies, you should be familiar with Deyemi the actor. And I don't want to have to read the very long thing that she sent to me, but just that anything that comes to like law, contractual agreements, most especially people that are going to be going into writing of books for executives and CEOs, trust me, you're going to need her help. Because if there's certain times when these people that are in very high levels won't take advantage of your skill, and you really need to protect yourself against such, such kind of occurrences. So that is why you need a lawyer. Don't think that a lawyer is only for when crime is committed. Lawyers are also needed for this kind of things. Writing, it might surprise you, but that's the world that we are in now, and we all have to protect our rights. So thank you so much, Omotai, for everything that you shared. So please start getting your questions ready, because now we're about to dive into the ghostwriting. I don't know whether to call him ghostwriting wizard, or I don't know what to call him exactly. So if you appreciate Omotayo for every insight, can you just drop a thank you? I can really see someone dropping thank you, ma. Please drop it. She's still at work to even show you how committed she was, to make sure that we get as we get as much value as possible. Please, can you drop a thank you? Drop a thank you for her. Drop a thank you for her. Drop a thank you in the comment section, right? So thank you so much, Omotai, for everything you shared with us tonight. Please don't go anywhere. We still need you in the building. Okay? Thank you so much. So now we are going to someone I respect so much. Honestly, when he told me his results, I actually had to ask for um his story. He's actually pretty young, and for the kind of results he has, gotten over the period of time, trust me, you definitely want to listen to him. His name is Chikezie Owo, um, and he is a successful ghostwriter. I intentionally use the word successful because not all ghostwriters are successful. So he's a successful ghostwriter and an info marketer as well, who has made over $8,000 from ghostwriting. So you can imagine that kind of results. So without further ado, I leave the floor open for our very own successful ghostwriter. So you have the floor, Chikeze. All right.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, Chikezie. We can hear you.
Great. Great. First of all, I want to say thank you to Barrister Omotayo. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love what you really did. And then thank you to the host, Goodness Anya Koha. She just reached out to me on LinkedIn when I decided to come on the online space and make waves, even via ghostwriting, because I've made waves online and offline, and I believe it should now be done online. So thank you, uh, Mrs. Goodness Anya Koha. Now, if you could still hear me, I want you to just type 1, 2, 3 on the comment section. Let's go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3 to confirm that you can hear me. To confirm you can hear me loud and clear, just type 1, 2, 3 on the comment section. And then you could still send out the link to your friends, your family members, and those you wish or you want their financial status to be uplifted. You could still send out the link to this live section to them. Okay, somebody said one, but your voice is breaking seriously. Wow, 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 wow. Let me see what I can do from my. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
I want to be sure you can hear me perfectly because someone from the comment section said my voice is breaking. All right, so real quick, let's get into what we have for tonight. Let's get into what we have for tonight. All right, I can see it's better. Thank you. Let's get into what we have for tonight. So for tonight, we're going to be talking about um, ghostwriting and how you could make cool income for yourself. Now, as a writer, there are several ways you could make income for yourself. There are several ways you could make good income for yourself. But then, as a ghost writer, there are also several ways you could make good income for yourself. For tonight, I'm not going to be just telling you about the how to make money on ghostwriting via the online space alone. We're going to be doing online and offline because I actually did went from the offline space before I started moving to the online space, and then on the offline space, it has been a very nice one. It has been a very great one. So I'll be showing you the secrets of how I was able to acquire gigs offline, and then how I now move into the online space now. You get, so I just want to welcome you tonight. I'll be sharing a whole lot with you. I want you to sit back, listen to till the end. So who am I and why should you listen to me? In case you don't know my name, although I've been introduced, I am Chikezie O. And then I'm a ghostwriter and an info marketer. Yeah, so if you generate any skill at all, if you learn any skill at all, you must have the ability to sell that skill. Yeah, so I got into ghostwriting and then also learned how to sell off my skill, and it was a game changer. So I became a ghostwriter and then an info marketer. I would love to tell you my story. I had left secondary school quite not long, just 4 to 5 years ago. I left secondary school, so I needed to earn from the online space because I knew, and seen, I've seen people close to me, my brothers, earn lots of figures for themselves from the online space. So I needed to get into this. I needed to get into earning from the online space. But then, what did I do? I had to apply for a skill acquisition program under a company, then Be Your Own Master Foundation. Be Your Own Master Foundation is located in Enugu State, 7 Ogi Road. And presently, I'm in Enugu State. So I had to apply for skill acquisition program. Now, in that skill acquisition program, they were offering so many skills, and it was going to be a boot camp. It's not something that is just for a day or two or even three or just a week. It was going to be a boot camp, and it was going to be very long. So I had prepared myself, and I said I was going to learn the graphic design skill and mini importation, because to me I felt it's something big when you can sit back in your house, import something, and then you get it learned in Nigeria, you make the sale. But I it was actually not that bad. It was actually not that bad after I learned the skill. It was actually not that bad because you must be able to sell, like I just said. You must be able to sell. So products came, then to sell was a problem. Another smart way I earned from mini importation was to run online classes via WhatsApp. I ran online classes, and I got persons to actually register for the master class. It was like a free class. It was like a free class, and then I moved to a master class where they had to pay for 4,000 naira, and that was it. So I got almost 50, more than 50 persons into that class. That was the first class I ran after learning the skill from Be Your Own Master Foundation. I got more than 50 or even close to 100 because because when I because when I finished learning from Biom and started making waves in mini importation, Biom actually announced me to the whole to their whole network. So that was how I was able to get lots of person come into my class, and then I sold out the master class to them, and then that was how I made money. So then fast forward into how I got into ghostwriting and started making waves. It was very easy. My my elder brother, although he's not an online person, is he goes by John. His name is John. He has shown me the how writing has made him good with. He has shown me how writing has made him a good amount of money. So I needed to come on board. I told him, show me what you actually do, and then he showed me. It was pretty simple. It was pretty simple. Introduced me into a software, different softwares that could be used to write projects for persons in school. Not just we weren't doing degree students. We were doing postgraduates. You understand? Postgraduate. So that was what I was introduced to. Ghostwriting is actually way vast. Ghostwriting is way vast. You can be writing movie scripts. You can be writing so many things. So many things. So what I did was to follow his own process. Since I already I already is seeing I'm already seeing results from what he's doing. So what I did was to learn how to handle the software, and boom, I got into creating this projects for uh, PhD students and masters, and that was how I generated these figures before coming on the online space. Real quick, that's just my story. Irrespective of whether you are a writer or you are not a writer, I believe that after tonight, you would understand that you can definitely make money via writing. It's very possible, and writing is just very simple. It's just very simple. It's not something difficult. So in this webinar, you will understand how to monetize your writing skill, irrespective of your writing progress, whether you can write or not. It is inconsequential. In the next 30 days, you'll be blown off at what you have achieved with the proven secret I'll be spilling. So you want to sit back to the end of this class. So you would call this section 30 days to 1 million with writing. You can actually move, you can actually skyrocket to 1 million with writing in 30 days. Very possible to 1 million naira. Very possible. Your first ghostwriting contract will bring you to 500,000 or even more, and then the next one will skyrocket to you're already a millionaire. So it's very simple. 30 days to 1 million with writing. That is what we are going to be calling this section. Where the fact that you're here is something I do not take for granted. I do not take it for granted at all. So you are going to get what is worth your time. You're going to get what is worth your time. So real quick on our topic, what is ghostwriting? Our lawyer already made some little emphasis on what ghostwriting is. Ghostwriting is an act of writing a piece for someone, whereas you are not being shown. You don't take credits. We wrote projects for people in the PhD department, irrespective of the course they handle, and then we don't take the credit. They submit their projects and get paid. They submit their project and get their score, while we get paid. So ghostwriting is just writing a piece of something, writing a piece for a company or an individual that you wouldn't have to take credit for. So for tonight, I just want to tell you that ghostwriting is very simple. Just to confirm if you can still hear me. Someone said my voice is breaking. Okay. So you already know what is ghostwriting for. ghostwriting is for you, whether you are a 9 to 5, is for you. It's for you because if you understand what you are doing, you could outsource your skill to somebody. You could get paid, outsource your skill to somebody, and give the person 1/4 of what you have been paid for. There are gigs I might not want to accept, but because I know somebody who can handle them, because I know somebody who can handle that gig, I will get the gig, collect the gig, and then outsource it. That's the power of outsourcing. You can outsource such to persons you know that can write, persons you know that can handle the game. You outsource such gigs to them and get to give them 1/4 of what you have received. It's just as simple as that. Nothing different. So if, imagine getting several gigs for yourself. Imagine getting several gigs for yourself. You don't have to. There are times I turn down offers, but there are times I take those offers and outsource them. Pay the person that you've outsourced it 1/4 and take 3/4. Let's say you receive $1,100 to actually carry out that project. You're just going to divide 1,100 by 4, give the person one part of it, and take 3 parts of it. The person will be very, very grateful because this person might not have been getting gigs. You understand? The person might not have been getting gigs. The person will be very, very, very grateful and will be to you like, sir, please, can you be bringing me more other gigs? And that's I also call that drop servicing. Drop servicing because you got the service, you outsource it to somebody. Somebody did the work, you got paid, and you gave the person part of it. I can also call that drop servicing, but that's not what we have for tonight. Drop servicing is not drop shipping. I want to make that clear so you don't get it all mixed up. Drop servicing is not drop shipping. Drop servicing is an act of getting a contract by yourself, and then outsourcing it to somebody that you know is capable of handling that contract, and then the person finishes the contract, sends back the work to you. Maybe you could carry out an editing check on that project before sending it to your client. So ghostwriting is for 9 to 5. So you don't have an excuse whatsoever that you are a 9 to 5, so you cannot write. No, you don't have an excuse. So ghostwriting is for students like me who wants to make extra figures for themselves. You can always do that. You can always do that. Ghostwriting is for students like you. It's also for corporates who also have finished their service and want to get into something worthwhile. You could hop in on ghostwriting, and something is very unique about this ghostwriting niche. It is very unique that so many persons have not gotten up on the ghostwriting niche. Maybe the whole of your LinkedIn timeline or Twitter timeline or your social media handles is showing ghostwriters. Most of those people you see are self-acclaimed titles. Self-acclaimed titles. I was speaking with someone the other day. I asked the person, "What do you do?" Let's say, "I'm a ghostwriter. I'm a web designer. I'm a graphic designer." I said, "Only you. You go kill yourself." And this is how he keeps on going about looking for different job work he will get from all those skills he handle. So today, if he's looking for ghostwriting project, tomorrow he'll be looking for website developing project. Next tomorrow he'll be looking for graphic design project. It's not proper. He's actually working with a shiny syndrome. You want to focus on one thing and make sure you make proper results from it. Maybe when you make proper results from what you are focusing on, for me is ghostwriting. Maybe when you make proper results, you can now decide to diversify. Right? You can now decide to diversify. So make sure you'll be taking notes because I'll be getting into the real deal now. Make sure you'll be taking notes, eradicate every form of distraction because maybe you might not get access to this live section after now. And then if you stay to the end, you'll possibly be getting a gift worth 170 naira. Yeah. It might not be a gift in cash, but a gift in kind. So before someone would be like, Chikezo will send me 170,000 naira. So it might not be a gift in cash, but a gift in kind. So you want to stay till the end of this thing. So you might be asking, sir, just go straight. How do I start ghostwriting and become very more profitable in it? It's very simple to start up your ghostwriting game. It's very easy to start up your ghostwriting game. But then after you started up, what will be your fate? What will be your fate when you started up your ghostwriting game? What is your fate? Because so many persons, even before this webinar, are already coming to ask me, sir, how do you get gigs? This and that, this and that, this and that, this and that. It is because you did not set out your plan. You did not plan what you were going to be doing when you get to become a ghostwriter, or when you must have acquired this skill. You must have set out your plans, giving yourself a target, and then work towards that target. So how do you become a ghostwriter and become profitable in it? Real quick, I might not be able to give you to start giving you everything about ghostwriting and all on this live webinar, because if I should do even till 12 midnight, we are still going to be here. So a simple program has been arranged for you. It's a ghostwriting income generator. It has been arranged for you. In that ghostwriting income generator, you are going to understand, you are going to see how to get on board with ghostwriting, how to register your account with different companies that you might not even want to start looking for gigs from individuals. You understand? You get how to register with different companies. Over 12 companies are already in that modus. 12 companies that keeps giving you out jobs back to back. And then companies that would pay you royalties. Companies that will pay you royalties even when your script is used to act a video or to do any other thing on Netflix. Like our lawyer was saying, these companies will still pay you royalties. Let's say you get on board into these companies and become you start writing scripts for them. An example of such company is ByteDance. It is the mother company of TikTok. It's the mother company of TikTok. Why TikTok is dwelling on video content, they dwell on written content. And it may shock you to know that you might not be going to ByteDance, but so many persons are going on ByteDance to read several contents, romance contents, relationship contents, and lots of them. So many persons are going to ByteDance, and it's actually ghostwriters that are writing those stuff and putting on there. Yes, even on your, if you are in Nigeria, you should know Opera News very well. If you know Opera News, or you should know Post Now, Phonics, you should know Post Now. Most ghostwriters that have gotten the ghostwriting income generator are cool with the amount they make from Opera News and Post Now. They are just cool there, because when imagine writing for Opera News, and Opera News upfront your written content to over 500,000 viewers. Over 500,000 viewers. You imagine you are getting $0.1 per each view, and then if the person reads, and then if the person reads that your content for let's say a minute or 30 seconds, you are giving 0.2. And if the person is stuck to your content for like up to 1 minute, you are giving $1. Imagine getting just 100 persons being stuck on what you have just written and posted on Opera News. being stuck for 1 minute reading your content. That's cool, $100. Although you won't get paid in dollar on Opera News, you actually get paid in naira. So you just be seeing 75,000 lying in state for you in your Opera News account. And what you just do is just to withdraw it to your OPay because they use OPay. So this is an example of companies you can write for. I've given you ByteDance, I've given you Opera News, I've given you Post Now, and companies, many other companies that would pay you royalties even when your scripts are used to do other things. They pay you royalties. And then in the ghostwriting income generator course I've prepared for you, it to help you to go from a writer to a wealthy writer. There are people that write, they are good in writing, but they are not making good cool figures for themselves from writing. I'll show you lay down secret in that income generator course, ghostwriting income generator course, that would guide you through to actually making your first 7 figures via ghostwriting. And many other things you'll be getting from me. You'll be getting access to direct support. You'll be getting access to me directly on WhatsApp. Maybe you got the course and did not understand some things in the course. You'll be getting direct access to me. But then in that course, there is already explained very well that even a 6-year-old baby can understand. Yeah, it's very very engaging that a 6-year-old person can understand. So I would love to see you in the inside. In our ghostwriting community, our payday is every day, because back to back we keep getting contracts because we've known how to handle all these things, even offline and online. So I would love to see you in the inside. Real quick, if you'll be interested in this, I would love you to drop a DM with Mrs. Good News. I would love you to drop a DM with Mrs. Good News, and she would guide you through. So that will be all for what I have to give you on the ghostwriting for tonight.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chikeze. If you guys are still here with me, can you drop here? Drop the word here. Drop the words here. Okay. Let me sure that you guys have not left me here and gone to sleep. I'm really grateful, and I hope you guys have been able to write of things and you've been noted a lot of points. The thing is that when it comes to learning a particular skill, you can agree with me that it takes more than a night for you to actually learn. And I know that a lot of us will be going to work. Some of us may be so and all. So I don't want to keep us here for so long like that. But before we go, I would actually like you to say thank you first of all to Chikeze. Say drop a thank you, drop a thank you for the information shared. Because if he decides to teach you writing tonight, honestly, I doubt if you're going to sleep this night. You are probably just going to do like thing you have to share with us, and for taking our time to do this with. Before you go, I'm just going to insights about a quick step guide to ghostwriting. We know what ghostwriting is, so I'm not a ghostwriter in person. So I believe in sharing opportunities that are available with online space, and I believe life changing opportunity for a lot of people. And I'd like to give it a that actually got the ghostwriting income generator from me. Like I can say that 7 days after he got the course, he had already started getting even exclusive contracts. So people are already reaching him that can he write for them. The interesting part about should I say getting a ghostwriting course is that within the community there are this it's like is that if you do not have the time to carry out the project that you got, you can actually outsource it from someone as well. So you can save yourself the time and you guys can that if you do not have the time to execute the contracts and ghostwriting community to write, and then you guys can negotiate and share. And like he said, there are different aspects of ghostwriting. Some of us only know blog writing, we only know article writing, but there's ebook writing. You can write projects for people in universities. You can help them to come up with their defense projects, and so many more opportunities in ghostwriting. And trust me, it's a very very profitable opportunity. Um, if you're on the WhatsApp group, they encourage you to send me a DM. I have an offer for only 10 people. We're only taking 10 people in the next 4 hours because Mr. Chikeze just decided to open up the opportunity to actually teach writers. A lot of people are struggling in ghostwriting, like I said. So we have for only 10 people in the next 48 hours. And I would like you guys to take it. Now, this opportunity involves you getting access to his support, and his support also includes we're going to be taking other workshops alongside this masterclass that I just held tonight on understanding your client's brand voice. It's very important for you to understand the voice of your client. You want to be able to in a way that sounds exactly like them. Now, for those that are maybe completely new to ghostwriting, or those that here a quick step-by-step guide to ghostwriting. I had to research this so you're not lost. The first thing is for you to understand the requirements for your writing, understand the scope, understand your target audience, understand the tone, and the style of write of you. The next thing is for you to do research. Make sure you research thoroughly. This will help you to gather the necessary information and insights you need to write an engaging, informative piece. Also, make sure you create an outline, just like every normal writing, blog writing, and even when you're writing social media posts. Honestly, you can actually be a ghostwriter. This means that executives, busy CEOs, to write their LinkedIn, social media, your face. So this is a very good advantage for you. If you feel that you're very shy, you don't want to show your face but you want to make good money, this is a very, very um, lucrative niche for you that you can take advantage. The next is for you to write your first draft. Writing your first draft is important because it helps you to know where to make corrections, where you need to adjust along the way. Make sure you edit and revise. And then the last thing you submit final piece. Okay? So I know that with the evolution of AI, there's so many AIs that you take advantage of ChatGPT. There's one called askoptimo.com. In fact, so much more. You can just Google it and check for AI tools you can actually use to write. But do not forget that the AI tools are mostly used for research purposes. It is your job as a writer to tweak and write to your client tone and style of writing. Okay, so I believe that you'll be able to get a lot of things about ghostwriting. This is actually just a tip of the iceberg. So I want to know the 10 people that are interested in getting the ghostwriting income course tonight. Please send me a DM as soon as possible, because the training doesn't stop here. We're going to be hosting several workshops that are going to be teaching you on how to understand the tone and style of your clients. And trust me, even if you've never written anything before, the course is going to, definitely teach you how to do that. Um, so I think now we can take questions before we go. So please drop your questions. Let's take about, this is already 9:29, and we want to leave here latest by 10, if if it gets to that point. So do you have any questions for our two speakers before we go tonight? Okay, I think people are mostly on LinkedIn. So I'm going to be checking. Please drop your questions before we go. Okay. Alright. Okay. Okay. Mr. Emmanuel has a question. Okay, sure. Please shoot. You can ask your question, and you can tell us who you want to ask the question. All right. I haven't seen the question yet. I'm hoping to drop soon. Okay. Apart from Mr. Emeka, please, I would like us to ask our questions. Please ask your questions. Please ask your questions. Oh, how can you get the quick step guide? Are you on the WhatsApp group? You could just send me a DM. Oh, okay. The one you could just send me a DM, and I can send steps to you. Okay. Okay. Is that all for tonight, or does anybody else still have any question? any other questions so we can all go to bed and have a good night? Any other questions, please? All right. Like in the next 7 minutes, if there are no questions, in the next 5 to 7 minutes, we're going to end the session for tonight. Don't hesitate to drop your questions in the WhatsApp group chat if you have any. Okay, so just 5 minutes, 5 minutes to go, and we call it a night. Okay. I want to assume that that is. I want to assume that that is all. I just want to assume. Okay, now over to our speakers. Do you have any last words for the newbie ghostwriter, the ones that are going to probably get started very soon?
Okay, once again, I want to say thank you so much, Good News, for having me tonight. It was such an insightful session, Maybe I too would start my ghostwriting business, you get, because we all need some forms of side money, you get. So, like you rightly said, lawyers are not only needed when there is trouble, when there's wahala. You actually need a lawyer so that you don't get into trouble. So, in all that you do, ensure that you seek sound legal advice first. Ensure that you use contracts all the time. And also ensure that you understand intellectual property so well, so much that people don't get to take advantage of you because of your lack of knowledge. So that will be all from my end. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much. See your face. It's not that the speakers are showing their face. Okay. Chiki, please speak to us. Thank you, Mutayo. No, I can't hear you yet.
All right. So can you hear me now?
Okay, can you try speaking now?
So I want to say thank you to everyone that actually made it to this webinar, and then to those that will still be coming back for the replay. I want to tell them thank you before time. To you, Mrs. Good News, I want to say thank you. To the barrister Motayo, I want to say thank you. Although uh, uh, I will have to start avoiding problems now. I will not wait for the problems to come, because before now I have not been actually bringing any lawyer on board to my ghostwriting gigs. You understand? So I would have to get you on board so that I don't have to get troubles. You understand? So I just want to say thank you to everyone. To those who might want to be getting started with ghostwriting real quick, like I've previously said before now, the ghostwriting income generator course has been set for you. In that course, I already told you that you get access to 12 companies that you can work for, that you don't have to rely on an individual to actually get gigs. You get these gigs from these companies, and then these companies most times pay you royalties, and some even give you MAB. Yeah, MAB. In normal in normal work like tailoring jobs, they call it advance payments. You understand? Most of these companies will give you MAB even before you start up your work. So I'm actually inviting that. I'm actually saying that you should come on board, and with me driving you, you're definitely going to make good success with ghostwriting. So thank you everyone once again. Thank you to the host, Mrs. Good News, and to the barrister once again. Thank you. See you all at the top.
All right. Okay. So we call it a night. I want to appreciate everyone for taking out your time to make it to tonight's session. We look forward to more trainings, just like more master classes like this, because there's definitely going to be so much more. I would love to see everyone succeed online, and I believe it is for everyone to succeed. The sky is big enough for every one of us to succeed. Please do not forget, we only have 10 slots. 3 people have already sent me a message. So if you're interested in getting started with ghostwriting and getting support and access to further workshops coming up, you know, only 10 people in the next few hours. And that'll be all for now, because we want to give as much attention to people so that they can get the right, should I say, get quality kind of support in their ghostwriting career. So please send me a message tonight. If you're interested, let me know tonight so you can get access to the course, and we can get you started right away. So have a wonderful night. I look forward to hearing again from you guys, and the replay will be left open for the rest of the week and might be going down soon. So please take advantage to watch it if you missed it. Okay, so see you soon and have a wonderful night. Good night. Good night.
Yeah, good night to everyone. Good night. Bye.
Bye. Good night.